Welcome to another edition of International Soccer Break. I'm your host, Sahil. I'm here with Rahi. This is the Cero edition. Roy seems to be missing.
2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, boys. Let's get a smile, Rocky. Look at Rocky.
Okay.
Mad after a USA game. Come on.
That reinvigorated me. I know, Roy, you're coming back from some kind of viewing event, it seems like. Otherwise, you should be in the studio, but he's not. So
nice viewing party. Some Mexican fans, some USA fans. Very sad and pouty Mexican fans, for sure.
So let's start off with the game. And there's a lot of good to talk about. And the first good thing to talk about is that we won and we lifted another Nations League title.
And Captain America is back. Tyler Adams, what a goal, Roy. What a way to announce you're back from the hamstring injury that never went away. That's hamstring crazy. Looks all right, man. It looks pretty good to me, Roy. He didn't do that before the hamstring injury.
That was insane. I don't think he's ever scored a goal anything near that. He doesn't really score goals, period. But holy cow, man. That was outrageous. It reminded me of Germany's goal against France that took 7 seconds, record-breaking goal. But this I thought was nicer. It was such a freaking laser from so far out. The second he charged, I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And then it goes in, man. Unbelievable. Was it savable, though?
No. Like, that's a golazo. That's a golazo, dude. That's not savable.
From the golazo, but does a younger, more agile goalkeeper, because it wasn't upper corner.
No,
it wasn't upper corner.
Nobody saves that.
Nobody saves
that. And nobody saves that second one from the wonder kid himself, Gio Reyna, back on the score sheet. The kid loves playing Mexico, Roy, doesn't he?
He does love playing Mexico. That I disagree with, that nobody saves that. That was near post. That should have been Ochoa's ball. But again, still a beautiful goal, probably savable, but he's had a hell of a week with the U.S. He has come back on, people questioning whether or not he should be there, probably myself included. He doesn't get any minutes from Nottingham Forest, and he comes in and has two pretty excellent performances, man.
Yeah, let's talk about that goal, though. On that goal, Rahi, the build-up, Christian Pulisic did something that not many people I've seen do.
And they didn't show it that well on the replay. They kept going to the Reyna finish, which was beautiful. But go back and watch that little flick over the defender Pulisic does. That is nasty. Next level nasty. Defender sliding in, flicks it over top of him, and then the ball gets deflected out to Reyna. But wow, man, that's vintage. And I can say vintage at this point because he's been around a while. That's vintage Christian. That was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. You know what I thought was nicer, though? I thought Serginho Dest just being freaking nasty all game. Just every time he was in a tight space, he wouldn't pass it back. He would try some freaking crazy-ass move to get around defenders, and it worked out half the time. It worked out half the time. He had some beautiful plays. I would say at least 3 that left the room screaming. Like the room was screaming that I was in. The USA fans were jumping around, going crazy. The Mexican fans were holding their faces. He was, I wouldn't call him a threat much. He was fun and he was, attacking. But those tricks were, we need more of that. We need more. Yeah. We need more fun with this national team, man.
Yeah. So look, I think it's well. Now we know we've beat them 3 times now, back to back to back. I think we can say firmly the U.S. men's national team in 2024 is a better team than Mexico. I don't think we need to watch this movie anymore, guys. Right? We've seen enough. We've seen the trilogy.
We know the ending. We know the ending. The Mexican fans know the ending already. Before it even starts, we know the ending.
They're gonna lose 2-0. As simple as that.
Sometimes 2-0.
Sometimes. Yeah. Usually 2, here and there 3.
Okay. So, and look, and all the U.S. fans out there have been criticizing us for being overly critical. We want to say we were elated. Roy was, jumping up and down at a bar. Rahi was, jumping up and down wherever he's watching it. And I was super excited. I've worn my U.S. jersey now, or shirt, with pride. I want to put this to bed, this game. Any last thoughts on the game itself before we move on?
Well, it's very clear, and this movie repeating itself makes it even more clear. Player for player, we are just a much better team than Mexico. And that's why I think what leads into the next part of this conversation is we want to be beyond CONCACAF, right? So we know we have better players than Mexico. The question is answered over and over again, but that's not the question we need to answer. The question we need to answer is how do we stack up against South American powerhouses? How do we stack up against European opponents? Teams that are going to matter this summer, going to matter in 26. That's the conversation.
Yeah. I have a comment that leads to this question and answers this question as well. Also about this game, the game before. This game, as happy as I am that we won, as pleased as I am with some of the performances, with Serginho's trickiness, with Reyna's vision and his goal and Tyler Adams' goal, today, especially the second half, correct me if I'm wrong, but looked like a bunch of middle school players.
Yes.
It looked like watching an 8th grade team against a 7th grade team, and it was just a lot of high headers and kicking it against each other and swinging legs. And like, there was a time where I was watching for about 3 minutes straight. I don't think I saw a pass.
No.
I don't think I saw a single triangle. Like, there were many, many occasions where McKennie had the ball out on a wing on the defensive half, and he could have passed it inward to either Adams or he could have dropped it back to Ream, but instead he tries to blast it up and he hits it against a Mexican player and he shoots it up high. It was really, really ugly, and it brings the question, what is Berhalter building towards? He's been around for a very long time. If someone asks you to describe Berhalter ball, we say Berhalter ball all the time, which I see as ugly, just lack of possession, just no goal-scoring opportunities. But today it was 8th grade ball. It was, what was that?
Yeah. And it's the players who are the ones making the difference, right? Today, we didn't have a particularly good plan. The game was a bit helter-skelter at times. The ball was aerial. What made the difference was we have some damn good players. Christian with the nasty move on the wing, Tyler Adams with a ridiculous goal, Gio Reyna making things happen. The players showed their quality. The problem is against better opponents, we're not putting these players in positions where they can take advantage and show that quality. So it becomes very difficult. It's all right against a Mexico team that, by the way, is the worst Mexico team I've seen probably in my lifetime. This is a really bad team. It's a bad generation.
Yeah.
The problem is we have good players. We know that. But we're not elevating their game because we're not putting them in positions to succeed, right? There's no collective vision.
Okay, so let's take it from here. So now we have this win under our belt, right? Let's try to say, let's be constructive about this. Where do we go from here? Because for all the US fans out there, you got to understand that beating Mexico is no longer enough. I know it's done. Let's put that to bed. Now we can really put to bed. Like I said, the trilogy's done. We can beat Mexico. Great. Now.
Yeah, and that's progress. Yeah. I mean, there was a time when that was not even remotely a conversation, right?
Right.
So we have made huge progress. 100%.
Yes. Okay.
We're now at the point we're better.
Yes. But now going into Copa America, right? We're going to play Uruguay. And then hopefully if we get through, there could be a tougher South American opponent on the table. So what do we take from this tournament and how do we get better to be able to compete?
It's going to be difficult in Copa America. And the reason is we watched these two games. We watched the game against Jamaica. We watched the game against Mexico. These were moments of brilliance by individual players who made the difference. It was Tyler Adams seeing an opportunity shoot, doing the unimaginable, and scoring. It was Gio Reyna after a kerfuffle in the box. The ball falls to him. He blasts it near post. These have nothing to do with tactics. They have nothing to do with style of play. So for us to be successful, we have some individual talents. We sometimes get into situations where they could show those talents and score a goal. But if we're not building a style of play, building a tactical vision which maximizes these situations, we're not going to succeed against the Uruguays. We're absolutely not going to succeed against a team like Argentina. We may do well against a team like Peru, Venezuela, sure, because we're better on paper than them, and we probably will get these moments because naturally they'll happen. But we're not building these moments. These moments are happening by accident, it seems like. And that's not good.
We're relying on individual moments of brilliance, as you put it, to win games. And that can't be enough against really good opposition, right? And the challenge, I think, is we've got to simplify. Over and over again, we've seen that this team tries to play a way that I think they're not suited to play, right? This sort of possession game, which is our players are good, right? They have some technical ability, but we lose the ball too much, right? So I'd love to see us press more, win the ball back in higher up the field, and then go forward at times, right? Instead of these overcomplicated movements that are going on. For me, it's simple, right? Way down the wing at times. Pulisic, get him going forward, spaces in around the box. The same with Reina. Try and simplify the style of play because the players look confused half the time to me, Roy.
Yep.
They really do.
Yep.
And then you got to hope that in that lead up to Copa America, that the time they have, that they find a style of play that works on a lineup that works. The problem right now is there's no consistency in the way that they're playing. And the problems are the same when they rise up. Low block, don't know what to do, right? Against a team that comes out a bit like Mexico, great. So we know what we're going to get. We have to find a way to play better against teams that sit back because there's going to be teams like that in Copa America. Uruguay may well do that against us.
Yeah. So, look, I think we all should be happy for the next few days, celebrate this victory, 2-0, and then let's get to work. And we'll be back with you guys more. If you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel. We'd love to hear your comments, US soccer fans, regardless of whether you agree with us or disagree with us. But we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more. A lot to go between now and Copa America to see how these players perform. And let's start figuring out a way to compete in Copa America. Tyler Adams alluded to it. Maybe we can capture silverware. Let's go get some silverware this summer in Copa America. But for today, go USA. Vamos USA. 2-0.